Don't turn your back like a turn of a card. Together with your classmates in the courtyard.
Hello, my precious students, and welcome to New Obsidian Duel Academy. I am the headmistress, Lady Cerisa. As many of you already know, we recently received a ban list for the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. I'm not here to talk about the ban list itself. Many other Yu-Gi tubers have that covered. No, my task today is on how to help better prepare yourself a bit easier during this new format and any future ban lists we should expect. Let us continue into our journey into ban list preparations. Number 1, stay informed and analyze changes. This one goes without saying, but it is something that is easily forgotten. For competitive players, we want to see if the format really changes or remains somewhat the same with little change. To do that, we want to look at any competitive events between the release of the ban list and a few weeks after. What deck seems to be the meta? This is important for meta players as they typically try to play a meta deck that best suits them. Not only is it important for meta players, it's equally important for rogue players as they need to make changes to easily combat the meta. This is why we should remain informed during the release of a ban list and analyze the different changes so that we may have an easier time during a format transition period. Number 2, evaluate your deck. Here comes the fun part, having to see if your deck was hit. If it has, then we'll need to find replacement cards to see if the deck would still run. If not, then great, but not out of the woods yet. Remember our last topic point? Of course you do. As staying informed and analyzing changes has an effect on how we evaluate our decks. This includes our side decks. As a wise man once told me, reading is fundamental. Number 3, test and tweak. Let's test out what we have come up with. Either it be through test hands or having mock matches against yourself or friends. We want to make sure our deck still functions after removing banned cards or trying to adjust to any meta changes we may come across. While making tweaks where we can or scrap an idea, some of us may even take an opportunity to make old strategies become useful again using any cards released from the ban list shackles. Number 4, meta changes. While new set releases also bring forth meta changes, so too does a new ban list. Not as quickly as a set release does. Usually players are seeing if long-term meta decks are still playable or considered dead decks. Some of the decks do become barely playable and fall off the format, and some will remain big deals through the next format, while others will trickle down to be another rogue deck players cling to because they still enjoy something about the deck. I have an example of this in way from personal experience. Still, I play Wind Witch, and while it was never considered a meta deck, it was used in rogue formats for quite some time, but now is considered as a for fun deck that I still play as a rogue deck format today. Number 5, try to stay positive. This is going to be difficult for a lot of us, as new release ban list almost never gives us a positive outlook. Usually we're busy wondering why Konami made the choices they made, wondering why they didn't hit certain cards that many of us so strongly believed needed to be hit. During ban list, it's so easy to allow negative thoughts and emotions to consume our well-being. By doing so, we add onto a growing toxic environment. I'm not saying to not get upset, but I am saying to try to look into the positive side of each ban list. No matter how bleak it may seem, perhaps there's a hidden gem we can discover if we try to keep a clear mind about each ban list change. I understand that each time a ban list is created, it leaves a lot of mixed emotions and rough spots throughout the first couple of weeks of a ban list release. It's perfectly normal to feel that way, and all your emotions are valid. However, I have learned, as becoming a headmistress in New Obsidian Duel Academy, getting angry or upset about a ban list won't change anything. Konami made their choices and we still have to accept that. However, we can always talk about it and help each other during some of the most difficult changes that some of us have to go through. If you learned something from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, class dismissed.